Hey guys, thought I'd give you an update on the starts for the garden in 2024. But I didn't want to just give you an update. I wanted to give you maybe some helpful tips from somebody who is just learning to garden, who hasn't really done it more than 1 year or so. And I wanted to give you some rookie mistakes for the garden. Alright, rookie mistake number 1, and this is a big one. Do not do what I just did and plant all your plants at the exact same time. So some plants need to go and have about 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date to grow. And then others need to be planted only just before your last frost date because they like to grow really, really fast. And that would be like your squash, your watermelons, pumpkins, and your cucumbers. So those actually sprout really, really fast. I had no idea how quickly they would sprout. They went amazing. They did great. They sprouted right away and they took off. And now as you see, they're kind of trying to overshadow some people, crowding those around them. So do not plant your warmer weather stuff like your cucupids at the same time you're planting your tomatoes and your peppers. So see, I've got some little peppers down here. See how much smaller they are? They take a lot longer to grow. I got overexcited, overzealous, and I planted all my stuff at the same time. And also, most importantly, don't plant your beans right away either because those grow super, super fast as well. So I have tender greens and dragon tongues. They're all doing great, except for now they're starting to get a little bit of yellow leaves. But they grow so fast, you do not need to plant those that far out. So for next year, I will definitely be remembering to be more patient, plant only my tomatoes and peppers first, then do my herbs and my other things going into the garden a little bit closer to the frost date. Rookie mistake number 2 is to think that the soil, like this lighter stuff right here, that you get for your seedlings is going to have enough nutrition for them the entire time you're growing them out. See, I didn't even think about that or research into that. That is a big rookie mistake. It does not have enough nutrition to carry them all the way through till transplant time. So I've had to, you can see on here, darker soil, I'm adding worm castings to it. And then in this bottle here, I've got some garden tea, which is a fertilizer that you just steep in water and you use when you water your plants. I just started doing that, so hopefully some of these guys, like this guy, see how bad shape he's getting? And these guys, my basil, were turning yellow. Other things were doing good. I mean, like my dill was doing great, and the peppers. The peppers had a little rough patch, but they were pulling through just fine. And you can see the beans were doing great, except for some of those in the back. We're starting to get lack of nutrition as well. And then the pumpkin, he obviously was getting a little yellow too. You can see it all over on his leaves. But the big thing that freaked me out was I never knew your tomatoes can turn purple. So if you look on the underside of the leaves, they're really dark purple. And if you could tell, they're now starting to kind of get shrivelly. And they're definitely not in good shape. So these are black strawberry tomatoes. And then I got one over here that I think is a German Queen. And that is either, from what I've read, the soil is too cold, which these are on a heat pad. And you can have too cold of soil so they can't get nutrition, or they could be lacking nutrition generally in the soil. So I'm hoping the worm castings and my fertilizer will start pulling these guys through. Hoping I don't lose them and I don't have to start over on them. But yeah, purple tomatoes are a good sign that you need to check your soil and you need to check your temperature. Alright, and then the last tip I have for you guys is do not underestimate how quickly your plants are going to grow out of the pots. So I have these trays here, have silicone bottoms, makes easy push out. And here I got some pepper seeds about ready to sprout hopefully. But I made the mistake of running out of bigger pots, and I had to use these smaller cells to plant the beans. Now, we got problems with that because if you look underneath, you can see they are starting to get very root bound in there. I mean, it's bad. It's getting pretty bad. And then some of these other guys right in here were in these cells, and I bumped them up to the 4-inch cells because they were starting to really struggle, especially my basil were, and one of my tomatoes. So I had some peppers that didn't sprout, so I bumped them up to these cells, and wow, this is much better. The things like my cucumbers, which were really root bound in those smaller cells, it was horrible, and the squash and the pumpkin back there, and soon to be the watermelon, those are all gonna have to get bumped up into a bigger cell yet. I'm gonna have to get bigger pots and find some place in my house to grow them. And here's a freebie tip. Do not underestimate how many lights you're gonna need. I just got this light this year. It's been doing great, but I'm probably gonna need at least 2 more of them. And I gotta move some of these plants to another location so I can put the bigger ones under different lights. And this cute little stand here is amazing. Just hooks on here. I can use this to lower and raise it as I want to. So you could just pull it down in here. There's a clip, and you just lower and raise your light for how much you want. But you always need more light than you think, more space than you think, bigger pots than you think, and be smart about when you plant your seeds and time them right for your garden, for your zone. I'm in zone 4, and that means my last frost date is around May 12th this year. And I really got a little too excited planting stuff. So some of these things may have to get restarted. They may not make it, and I'll just have to reseed again. But at least now I know for next year, and I hopefully pass on some of these tips to you guys so you don't have to repeat my mistakes. Hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you enjoy your garden this summer.